Hey guys, Josh here again, and today I thought I would talk about gaming. More specifically, gaming being the newest, greatest, and perhaps most controversial form of art. I want to begin by saying that gaming is a huge part of my life, and I feel I've learned many different things from gaming, and it's really something that's drawn on generation gaps. That being that many older individuals in particular don't really see any sort of artistic integrity in gaming. And a lot of people in the newer generations have found this uh, not so acceptable, I guess you can say. I think part of this is due to the fact that gaming has literally just exploded lately with in the last few generations or decades or what have you, with just increasing popularity and more games, and really just an unparalleled creation of a video and an art medium rather, which no generation has ever really seen before. Think back however many generations you can. Uh, Maybe the birth of art. That wasn't really a few decades sort of invention. It was something that took hundreds, if not thousands of years to slowly develop into what we recognize it as now, that being paintings and artistic visions through sculptures and what have you. Really, the next major medium you could really talk about would probably be cinema, and that developed over an incredibly long time, and you can see the vast differences over time, such as the beginning black and white movies, picture shows, whatever, to the current day blockbuster films with just huge amounts of 3D action and the like. But gaming is unique in that way, in that when you really get down to the core essentials, despite graphics and the new innovations that have made gaming so seemingly different, games are essentially the same. What this really means, though, is that we have seen the birth of an entirely new genre of art, or a medium of art, rather. And without a doubt, it is probably the most controversial one at that. I want to argue, though, that gaming is a more hands-on approach to artistic vision. What I mean by this is it's much easier for someone of really any background to pick up a gaming console, play any real game that's worth playing, and they can get a story out of that. This isn't so much like cinema and uh, great novels or whatever have you, where you've got to really have a lot of background knowledge to understand what's going on or try to get any sort of meaning out of it. I I find that's what's so incredibly unique about gaming, and I think it's almost a crime that we're not really told to treasure this sort of medium that's really unique to our generations. Our generations being probably the last 2 to 3 decades, maybe. But that's just the amazing thing about gaming. You can be involved in it in a way you can't be involved in any other medium. Fair enough, you can pick up a novel and you can be engrossed by it and you can really feel the themes and all the knowledge of it, and you can of course be moved by it, what have you, but it's so much of a disconnected feeling compared to what a really good game can experience. Like a game with a storyline that just makes you think, and you have, at least in a simulated way, earned what is happening in that projection. When you're reading that book or watching that movie, it's being shown to you and it's being transmitted almost for you to interpret. Whereas gaming, even if it's made in a way that tries to simulate the actual effect, you are really involved in the decision and the events that occur within that medium. I want to take probably my favorite gaming series, or at least among one of my favorites, that being the Mass Effect series. This series has got a storyline which I think is essentially unrivaled in the gaming world. Throughout the entire excuse me, trilogy, you've got all these different events occurring and all these choices and all these consequences for what you choose, and they will affect the players within these, or NPCs rather, within these environments. And that's incredibly unique though, because you're creating this world, and as your actions are shown on that screen, you can see what has changed in real time, as opposed to reading a book or watching a movie. But I think a lot of the misconception on the fidelity of gaming as an art form comes from people having outdated values, really. A old-timey artsy person might look at a game like, and I'm sorry to do this to some of my friends, but Call of Duty. Now, whether you like Call of Duty or not, it doesn't have a hugely developed storyline, at least in my eyes. Or at least most players don't play it for the storyline. Instead, it focuses on multiplayer. In that way, I wouldn't call Call of Duty art, per se. But a game that really makes you think, and it really gets you in the sort of uh, the questioning of values and events and whatnot, like the Bioshock series, the Mass Effect series, Halo. These games can really, really, really change your attitudes, and honestly, they can move people to an extent which other mediums cannot. And this is all to do with the simulation of real involvement within the gaming world. And the fact that there's not a distinction between two types of different games, I guess you could almost call them popular games, and serious, unquote, games, where the storyline is much more prominent in the gaming experience. It would almost be equivalent to someone taking a Michael Bay movie, a movie that's incredibly notorious for not having a very well structured storyline, and comparing it to, uh, I don't know, The Matrix or whatnot. The different styles and the different things that those movies are trying to accomplish through their storytelling are very, very different, and they needed to be treated as such. You can have the same example between a children's book and Shakespeare or great literature. There should be a different perception of the different types of art within these genres. I am not sure what it'll take for gaming to be recognized on the whole as a art experience. I know very recently there have been a few movements to try to make this more felt throughout the media and throughout popular culture. Excuse me. I know, for instance, that a Swiss museum is actually starting to collect rare games to catalog them in a museum, which is pretty cool. And I believe they're actually planning on archiving Minecraft. so that's pretty sweet. But yeah, I just want to say, guys, that my throat really hurts after I've been a bit sick lately. I tried to get through this video without coughing too much, and I tried to make it coherent. If you like this video, please thumbs up. If you didn't like it, well, go away. Jokes, please stay. If you want to see more, subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching.